Yes. All right, I guess we get the show on the road here. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. It's that time again. It's Monday night, and you're going to be listening to another episode of
Living the Scream.
The behind the scenes of
The Mummy and the Monkey.
That's right.
I am Janet, also known as the Mummy.
And I'm James, also known as the Monkey, Grimm, Gorri. And
we are resellers by day and horror film hosts by night. Mm-hmm. We host Cheesy B movies on our Facebook fan page, The Mummy and the Monkey. And we also resell and do other work. You know, we have to do other jobs to pay for things. So.
Yeah, you know, everyday life stuff.
Yeah, everyday stuff.
Yeah, we're working stiffs, but we work for ourselves and not for someone else. Directly anymore anyway.
Yeah, so this is our self-employed journey and horror hosting journey.
And we're going to unpack it right here for the next hour or so on our little blog, our little podcast. So
yeah. So if you're listening to this and maybe packing up your eBay orders or working on stuff at the computer,
yeah,
you know,
clipping your nails.
Yeah, you know, thank you for listening. So this first half is the reselling part of it.
Right.
And we've been, the past couple days, I've been kind of shopping our own garage.
Yeah, because we have, I have personally, my death pile, as we call it, that's all the stuff that you buy that you haven't listed. I've got a lot to list. I've got a lot to go through.
And another podcast, and they're also available on YouTube, is Scavenger Life, and they coined that term death pile, meaning you have a pile of stuff you keep meaning to put online, but you don't quite get around to doing it. So we're going through our death piles, and I don't know if we'll ever get to everything. But
see, I equate mine more to a like with a chipmunk. I like stuff my cheeks full of stuff to sell later. You know, I'm gonna sell it. It's not like I haven't gotten around. Well, I just been doing other things. But when I get, when I get to be able to sit down and do or stand up and do my list stuff on eBay, I'll have a lot of stuff to do it. That's my whole sort of dynamic, to have stuff there.
Well, I always feel like there's always a lot of stuff around here to list.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
So I've been chipping away at it, and we refrained from thrift store shopping the past couple days.
You've refrained, and by proxy, I guess I have to refrain too. But anyway, so did you find anything fun in the garage?
Yes. So our friend Gonzo from Cinema Wasteland, that convention, he goes to the coolest, like, middle of nowhere auctions and finds these really odd, unique things. And he did find, last year he gave them to me, and I had them in the garage so they could air out because these things are like 100 years old. And they just had a funky odor to them. And
what are these things?
They are Oddfellows, Secret Society robes. And then there was a Knights Templar wool jacket and cape. And these are from between 1870s and 1910, made by the Lilly Company in Columbus, Ohio. They made a lot of the like Secret Society outfits and like police uniforms and things like that.
Yeah, these outfits and robes, they're like ceremonial things, right? That the members would wear and, to different...
Mm-hmm. They would wear them to different ceremonies or different, functions, depending on what's going on. And some of them are very brightly colored. They almost look like Roman, kind of medieval. Some of them are made out of velvet with brocade and like lace and like metal trim. It's like really unique. And you could tell these were like, they put a lot of time into getting these made. Mm-hmm. Now, the fabric, some of them are very, very worn, but they're very cool display pieces for people that collect, like, the Masons stuff, Shriners, Oddfellows, that, like, Secret Society stuff.
This isn't your first dalliance with these Oddfellow robes. You sold some about 2 years ago, didn't you? Or a year ago to the Witch Museum here in Cleveland.
Yeah, almost 2 years ago. So I had a handful of other robes from our friend, and after the fees and everything, we split it because he trusts us with doing that.
But who'd you sell them to?
So I sold a couple of them to the Buckland Witchcraft Museum. Yeah, the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. Mm-hmm. That's the full name for it. And it's in Cleveland, Ohio. And they are on display. and they are open to the public. Even with the pandemic going on, you can buy tickets in advance. They allow so many people in. They're very cool looking pieces.
And we actually did, we broadcast a few Mummy and Monkey episodes from the two different locations that the Buckland Witchcraft Museum was at, the old one and the new location. And we got to see the robes, or one of them that was really nice in a display case. He had it all. It looked awesome.
It did look really awesome.
On the floor there, it was like it had on a mannequin, obviously, and it was in a big lucite case. It was really, really sweet.
And that's how I picture these, like whoever buys them, I'm picturing them like displaying it like as like a museum piece. So I'm really happy that two of them are in an actual museum.
We should keep one and make a display for a corner, a real creepy display, and use that skull, that concrete, or the plaster skull that people think might have been part of a Masonic thing.
Maybe.
That could be neat. Just sort of like in a corner backlit, or kind of neat, kind of just add up like a skull on something like a stand like this.
When you wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, it'll freak you out every day.
It would be awesome in a corner of a house. In a hall, if we had a hallway like that, it'd be neat at the end of a hallway. But anyway, yes.
But it's fun and stuff like that. It's time consuming because you want it to look decent in the pictures, and you have to research it. And and even though it was in the garage for like a year, we had a real nice sunny day the other day. So I put some stuff out in the sun to get fresh air.
Yeah, we found that leaving them in our garage lets them air out from whatever odors they've entrapped over the decades.
Yeah, because I think some of these items that we get from our friend, I think a lot of it was picked out of barns and stuff.
Yeah, who knows?
So who knows what?
Musty, but if they're just stored away in a trunk or just in someone's basement, forgotten. It could have even been in an old, who knows? I wonder why there's so many of them. Like, how do they? I know we got them at an auction as a lot, but was someone collecting them? Were these someone's own, personal wardrobe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been someone's collection that they just kept, and then they passed on, and the family didn't want it. Who knows? Who knows? Could have been from a clean out.
I'm just wondering in general if they were like collected, throughout the decades by a collector, or were they all one person stuff? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it does make you wonder.
Excuse me.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are cool to list, and
just Google Oddfellows, and you'll see a bunch of cool stuff come up.
Yeah, and another Oddfellows item that I sold was a little pendant that had their logo on it with a skull and crossbones, and it was enamel. Mm-hmm. And I think the little eyes on the skull might have been ruby or some little gemstone. But that little one, it was a little beat up. It went for like $65.
And that's something you found at a flea market.
That was a flea market find. I think I paid $5 for it.
Yeah, so the stuff's everywhere. You just have to keep your eyes open. I think I have an Oddfellows, and these you find sometimes too, like little membership card or paper. Mm-hmm. Those things are always kind of turn up at flea markets as well, and they're really ornate and elaborate. They're really cool, and they're still around. So Oddfellows is still like a fraternity or something.
Mm-hmm. They're still around. I don't know like the ins and outs and the details of what each club or secret society represents, but it's interesting, and there's a lot of people that are into that sort of thing.
What's that female one? The Daughters of the what?
Daughters of the Eastern Star.
Yeah.
It's like the lady version of the Masons. So like the wives or girlfriends or whatever, I guess, would be a part of that club.
Yeah, they play pinochle.
And they use like a star. It does look like a pentagram actually, and it's different colors. I think each point in the star is a different color. So this is interesting.
Okay, so sorry about that. I had to take a call. It was another part of the business that I do. I do my graphic design. I'm actually working, doing some more storyboards for a filmmaker out of Florida who's actually from Cleveland initially, but relocated to Florida, and he has a little film company down there, and they make some pretty cool stuff. They just made something with Nichelle Nichols in it, Uhura from Star Trek. So it's a movie that she was just in, and it was about her actually.
That's awesome.
I have to look the name up, but Todd's been doing some press for that and been popping around the country and doing things, and so he gave me a call, and it's a top secret project, but it's a pretty cool short film or a film. It's it's like a documentary, but
Well,
dramatic. It's cool.
You already said it was top secret, so.
But it's pretty fun. But I love doing this stuff. And when I'm doing it for, it's called storyboarding, which is, it's almost like drawing a comic book without actually, the letters and words in it. But
it's so they can set up the scenes when they film.
Yeah, you have sort of a visual, reference to shoot the scenes, angles, things like that, close-ups, medium shots. But that's all put into the script that I get, and I have to sort of interpret that. And we go back and forth, and I refine the artwork, and it's pretty neat, to see it. To have it done. I've done it for a few other movies and a ton of commercials for another guy a friend of ours, Sean Durant in California, owns a media company and puts together commercials, local commercials, and actually he did a film as well. And I storyboarded that, so pretty cool. It's kind of fun to be involved.
You also design toy packaging for different toy companies.
Yeah, that's the main thing I do is do toy design and illustration. And package design and concepting for toy companies, several of them, and that's pretty fun too. Obviously, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't. And so is reselling. I do it because it's fun.
So you're a freelance graphic designer, and then you also have your own eBay store.
Yes, and trust me, like it's perfect for me because, I could do like you. I could devote all my time to eBay. But I like having it sort of it's not part-time, it's just another, it's not even a side gig. It pads the times I don't have freelance to do, and vice versa.
If you're having a slow week and you don't
constantly
have
working still,
graphic design jobs, then you can switch gears and go to eBay. But then if you have a lot of freelance to do, you can give eBay a break and go back to it later.
Yeah, because I'll always have stuff on sale, for sale to sell on eBay. It sits there, and until someone buys it. And I had some good sales this week, actually. For me, the ones I like to sell.
Yeah, mine were pretty good. I did sell an Oddfellows jacket.
Right.
I shared pictures on my Facebook, and a lot of people seemed interested. So I did sell one. And sold a giant vintage doll. So
another one.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting some of the bulky items out of here.
Jeez.
And I don't know if I'm going to buy the larger items anymore. I sold a typewriter during the week for parts. Heavy. Yeah, and that was real heavy.
30 pounds.
It was almost 40 pounds with the packaging.
Yeah. Now go ahead.
It was an antique one, probably 1930s.
And the dolls she's talking about, they're like 2, 3, 4 foot dolls. You have the one you just sold was about 3 feet tall.
Yeah, it was 31 inches tall.
Yeah.
It went for $70 shipped, so the shipping was almost $25 though. Yeah. So, and that's why I had it at $70 shipped.
How tall was that other big one, that box Tony gave you?
That was like 4 feet tall.
That's huge.
It was like the size of a coffin.
Did it get to where it needed to go safely? You should have.
It did. I got good feedback actually.
There you go.
So yeah, it got where it needed to go. It was insured just in case.
Yeah.
Had signature confirmation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, I'm happy the past few weeks I sold like some of the bulky stuff I had sitting around because I kept thinking, oh, I hope this sells. I want to get it out of here.
Yeah, I sold, what I love selling is media, like, DVDs, CDs, records, whatever, books. And we went to a Savers, I don't know, a bunch of months ago, and they had some rap tapes. Like someone gave up all their rap music tapes.
Cassette, like audio
cassette
cassettes.
Tapes. Yeah, audio cassette tapes. And I was like, oh man, these are good. This is good. I mean, they're cheap. We were talking about that today too, about, shopping thrift stores for what they don't know or what they don't really care about.
Yeah, because
what they price low.
There's some stuff that they definitely know or they try to look up.
Yeah, come here.
And there's still a lot that they don't know. So even though you might look at their display case and look at the pricing and go, oh man, this sucks. Like all the good stuff is priced too high. Keep looking because there might be like those things that they just don't know about that you can still, you could still do good on.
Right. It's not obvious. So they just kind of go for the obvious stuff, oh, that's silver, that's gold. But there are some, you found silver and gold in those places, and for some reason they just didn't look like silver or gold to them or something.
Yeah, I have found sterling silver thimbles, sterling silver little cups, little spoons, like stuff mixed in with some other things where they just didn't know, or it was mixed in with costume jewelry or whatever. Yeah. So, and they can't inspect every single little piece. The obvious stuff they'll go for.
Right.
And that's where us scavengers go in, and we take the time to look through everything,
Right.
to find those hidden gems.
Like this cassette tape. So I bought a bunch of them that day. I think I bought 15 of them. I sold a couple real quick for I think $20 or $30. I got one. Hey, Louie's rubbing on the microphone.
Louie's rubbing his face on the microphone.
They like that. The cats like it because it's got real bumpy. Oh, I don't know what he's doing to it.
He knows we're
Maybe not
talking
good.
into it, so maybe he's trying to
Eh.
contribute.
But anyway, so there's one in particular that blew my mind when I got it home. It was one of the Wu-Tang Clan members. His name Raekwon. It was a cassette tape, but the plastic was purple, like a translucent purple. And looked that up, and it's called, I think I forget the name of the album, something Paris Links. I don't know. Only for Paris. I don't know what the heck. But doesn't even matter. But they call it the purple tape and everything, blah, blah, blah. But some people had it selling it on eBay or asking like $10,000 for this tape.
Why $10,000 for a tape?
A sealed cassette tape, and some had signatures. So I put mine up for $1,500. Why not? It was in great condition. It had the fan club information folded
And how much
up.
did you pay?
I paid like 50 cents or $1. I think they had like 50 cents there.
Wow.
And I might even had percentage off or something. But the 20% off savers coupon. Who knows? But I didn't pay it. I paid maybe $1 for it at the most.
Okay.
So anyway, it's been sitting, up on eBay for, I don't know, about maybe 5 months now. And I don't remember when I put it up. It wasn't that long ago. But I did get a few really stupid lowball numbers. I think sometimes prices piss some eBay buyers off, and they'll lowball you. It's their way of just kind of giving you the middle finger, like that ain't worth that much. Well, it's not to you, but what do I have to lose if I sell for $1,500? I'm the winner. I go laughing to the bank. Who cares what you think? As far as what you think I should value this at.
And sometimes I think it's better to price things higher if you're not sure, because then you can always go back and lower the price later on.
Yeah.
But you don't want to undersell something.
Yeah, I can't remember the item or what it went for, but I had somebody literally write me and say that this thing is overpriced and you're never going to sell it, and it sold like the next hour. It was weird, and I had it up for a little bit, for days or a few weeks. And then it's funny, I get this really nasty message from somebody, and then some totally other different person buys it. I'm like, oh, I guess that person was wrong, and it just happened like that. It was weird how it it sold the same day. Somebody wrote me a nasty message. But anyway, this was rap tape. I got a bid on it, or an offer from somebody for $21. $21. If I have it up for 15, why would you 100? Why do you think I would say yes to that? So I declined it, and they wrote right back, make me an offer then.
Maybe they meant 2,100.
No, $21.
No, I'm kidding.
And then as soon it was late at night, it was maybe 1 a.m. I declined the offer, and I got a message right away from that same person. Then make me an offer. Tell me what you want for it. So I looked at the solds, and that tape that I was selling, in the same condition, opened. Sold for like $185, $200, not $1,500. But hey,
$1 into almost 200.
right? So anyway,
that's great.
So the weird thing was, or not, I don't know, it could have been the same guy, but then so I sent the person a $200 offer, didn't hear from him, and then the next day somebody bought the tape or sent me an offer for $185, and I took it, and I looked at the emails. There's 2 different emails, could be the same guy with 2 different accounts, but whatever. But yeah, I sold that $1 tape for $185. Just sent it out today.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Easy to ship. It's a smaller thing.
I put it in a nice big, a decent sized box, so it would, because you have to put a label on it,
Mm-hmm.
You can't put anything tiny. But yeah, and it packed it like crazy because it's a $185 tape, and insured it, signature confirmation to make sure it gets there, so no one goes, it didn't come.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that crap. But anyway, yeah, so that was a fun sale for me. Recent one. And sold some other junk, but that was a cool thing.
Yeah, and I'm going through, even today I was trying to list some more things. Mother's Day is coming up, so I thought maybe I should list some more jewelry. I have a little bit of a jewelry death pile. I have a Barbie doll and like action figure death pile. I'll try to organize my death pile items by category or by department. So then I could go through a bag or a box and I know it's like all similar items. So then if you're listing multiple things, it makes it a little bit easier because then you kind of get into that groove like, okay, today I'm going to list the jewelry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll go through Barbie stuff. Or, you know, this day I'll look through DVDs. Whatever it may be. I think that makes it easier, in my opinion, as a reseller.
Yeah.
You know, to separate everything out. Sometimes I'll go in and make drafts prior to doing the actual listings. I'll have maybe 10 or 20 drafts saved. And then later I could go in and take my pictures and do the shipping and just, you know, have it done.
Yeah.
Because then all the research is already done. You already know what to price it at. You just have to go in and get your items to take your pictures.
Right. Well, it is definitely a process that you have worked out, which is great. That'll help you in the long run there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, the reselling thing is always fun. I mean, I can't get enough. I love the hunt. This guy get better at at listing the stuff.
At the listing.
Yeah.
The listing part can actually be very boring, and then this is the issue. Like, yeah, okay, it's good to have some death pile stuff saved, but you don't want to be a hoarder where it just sits and you never get it listed, and then you don't make any sales.
Well,
and then you're spending all this money thrifting, but then you're not getting your return.
Right, but a hoarder is, I think, different than someone like a hoarder is buy stuff to not let go. This stuff is like I said, I look at it more like a chipmunk, like I said, or that stores this stuff to sell. I don't think hoarders intend to sell what they get.
Well, some people who hoard have the intention of selling things, but then they don't get around to actually doing it.
I thought it was stuff that meant things to them, and they
not
keep
always, not always. Some people will say, "Well, I'm going to sell that," but then it sits for like.
Well, I have no intention of keeping this stuff. I don't want to hoard it and keep it. I want to sell it, but But I just get wrapped up in the what's the next sale? Oh, that's cool too. I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, because you have that fear of missing out.
Yeah, and I'm not.
In my mind, I'm like, well, there's always going to be more stuff. If you miss always will be stuff. One sale, there's going to be another sale where you're going to find a treasure.
Yeah, but right, that's true. So
at the same time, like, you don't want to beat yourself up because I didn't go to every sale this week,
right?
Or I didn't visit every thrift store. Well, there's always going to be something at some sale. You're going to be okay.
Yeah, but it's that whole, like you said, what's it called? Fear of missing out,
Yeah.
Of
FOMO.
That
FOMO.
Yeah, especially if it's a place that you wanted to go, and then you hear back from someone that went there, goes, "Oh my God, I found this thing!" Like, shit, I would have been there before you, and I would have found it.
There's some friends on Facebook that will randomly message us and be like, "Oh, dude, look what I found!"
Yeah.
And it's like, shit. They found like the $500 thing, and we haven't found that yet this week.
Yeah. But anyway,
I just cussed to swear. I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
Sorry, guys.
This is supposed to be a looser show anyway. So, fudge it. Don't worry about it. See how crazy I got there with the F word? I said fudge. Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that we bought or kind of if anything happened in the thrifting zone.
Well, I don't remember anything special happening in the thrifting zone, but I did make some space to take pictures of clothes. Like, there's a little corner in one of the rooms where it's like, okay, because for the clothes, if it's like a dress or a long robe or something, you need more room than just like a little photo booth, like our little photo booths we use. So that's a bit of a challenge when listing clothing. You need the space to take decent photos, and you need a nice clean background. So I did that also, made a little corner to just, okay, that'll be the spot where I take pictures from now on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I might have to use that spot.
You're welcome to borrow it.
Yeah. See, and then we do this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, I can list. Oh, no, I can't. We have to do a show, so. After this, I hope I can list some stuff.
Or put some drafts together.
I like listing. I just like going for it. I hope they fix that issue on the eBay side on the phone app that doesn't let you get the option of shipping like first class.
Oh, I did see in the seller updates on the seller screen. Yeah, supposedly they did fix it. So there was an issue last week or the week before, I'm trying to remember, with the eBay app where you would go in and list something, and if it was a small, lightweight item, for whatever reason, it wouldn't give you first class mail as an option.
Right.
Well, first class mail is pretty much the only option for small items under £1, unless if it's like a media mail situation. But, like I had a salt and pepper shaker that were small, and, they might weigh maybe 10 ounces with the box.
Right.
And they're not super expensive. They can easily go in a first class. It wasn't giving me that option, so I had to save the draft and then finalize it on the computer to add in first class mail. But I think they said that they fixed that. Because one of our other friends messaged us saying, "Oh my gosh, what happened with the eBay app?"
Yeah, it's just kind of seeing if it's on her end or was it site wide, and it was app wide. It was an app issue, so they got it fixed. Yay, good.
Yay!
I can not have to worry about finishing them on my computer. The listings. Rather do it with the phone app. So much easier for me. I don't like all the back and forth. All right.
So, all right. I think I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to discuss with the reselling bit. I don't have any open returns right now, so that's good. My sales are good and steady right now. They're not like, super high, not super low. They're kind of steady, so I'm good with that. So we could probably wrap up that part and then talk more about Mummy Monkey.
Well, that sounds like a plan, Janet. Let's do just that. Then, Mummy and the Monkey business. What we got going on there, Janet Decay? What do we got?
Woohoo! All right.
What's new to reports?
I think there's more Mummy and Monkey stuff to talk about at this point than the eBay reselling stuff.
All right.
So we did conclude episode 123 of the Harry Scary Hangout, where we hosted the movie Vampire Over London.
Woo.
And that was a lot of fun. It was a goofy, like, slapstick horror comedy with Bela Lugosi and an English actor, Arthur Lucan, who has a drag character named Old Mother Riley. So it was Old Mother Riley meets a vampire, meets Bela Lugosi.
And a robot was in there, too.
Yeah, and there were robots and mummies.
Well, mummies, it was women wrapped up, but...
They looked like mummies.
Yeah, mummy looked. But anyway, it was kind of a goofy movie. I'd seen it years and years and years ago, probably on Superhost show, Cleveland movie host here back in the 70s and 80s. But, yeah, it was a very odd movie, but it was a comedy. And those are, for me, hard to add sound effects into because... the writing is pretty much. I mean, they add sound effects, and they did in this movie, in comedy movies, and there's always like set up jokes. So some of the sound effects I would use normally in a series, and they're more. If you have a serious movie and have these wacky sound effects, it's it's kind of nice contrast when it's a comedy with funny sound effects. When I put them in there, you can do it, but it's just not as it doesn't pack the same punch to me. But
yeah, so we'll find something else. We're still figuring out what we're going to play this Friday for episode 124. Yeah. And then we're also going to be a part of a Blog Talk radio show tomorrow night.
Ooh. It's going to be recorded, are we going to be on there live doing it?
I think it's on there live, and then they archive it on the website.
Okay.
So I'll share links on our social media pages, like Facebook. I don't recall the name at the moment.
Shame on you. You don't have your phone?
Let me see get it real quick.
Yeah, we got time.
We'll check it live right now.
We'll do it live. We'll write it and we'll do it live.
Let's see.
Forget about it.
Stephen Ronquillo, KSDAD Radio. It's blogtalkradio.com/KSDAD Radio. He talks about movies, books, anything interesting. So I think he's like a Grindhouse fan. I think he's a fan of 42nd Street Pete, and that's how he found us online.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so we're going to be calling in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for his radio show.
Cool.
And he said he wanted to interview us.
Nice. That'll be fun.
So that'll be a lot of fun. And then May 15th, we're going to be a part of a huge Zoom event, a virtual event hosted by Dark Horse Comics.
Hey!
Yeah. I'm excited about this.
This could be good.
There's going to be other horror hosts on the discussion panel. There's going to be an opportunity for like a meet and greet after, where you pay a nominal fee and you can chat with us on Zoom afterwards if you like. We don't even know what to charge for that yet.
I don't know. Because we talk for free to people on our show for free. I don't know.
This might be more one-on-one.
Yeah.
Where people might want to say hi and ask us stuff.
Yeah. So that's different and exciting for us. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, the actor's name, I'm trying to remember his name, but he wrote the comic book Count Crowley.
Yes, Count Crowley, and I rushed out and ordered a copy of the collected graphic novel, and we both read it. I read it a while back, and you just got done reading it. But very, very cool idea for it's a female horror host is the the main character of the book.
Yes, and it takes place in the Midwest and has a little bit of a Cleveland connection.
A little bit, yeah.
Where she used to be a reporter in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes place in the 1980s. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Count Crowley, and that was you bought the graphic novel, right?
Yes, I just said that. So look that up, and then you can.
David Dastmalchian. I apologize profusely if I butchered that name.
And you did, but that's okay.
But he was also in the movie Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He is on a CW show. He's on the Flash show. He's been in some other Hollywood movies like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So, and now he's a comic book writer, and he's a big horror film fan.
So there you go. And it would be interesting to talk to this guy. I can't wait to be a part of the discussion panel. It's going to be fun.
Yes, this is going to be a big deal. And I guess he his people contacted us, and I didn't even know he knew of us.
That's really exciting. Yeah, and we'll be in full character.
Yeah, I read one of the emails that they sent us. I have to see the full list, but one of the hosts that will be on board with this discussion panel is Marlena Midnight.
Oh, okay.
Another one is possibly Svengoolie.
Oh.
Possibly. We don't know for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to check the emails to confirm. But yeah, Marlena's going to be on there, and she was on a discussion panel they hosted last fall, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow.
And she used to run a comic book store, so that's really cool.
And we read a lot of comic books, and
Yeah.
I'm working on a Mummy the Monkey comic book, so drawing it, writing it, and all that good stuff.
Yes. Eventually, one day, it will be released.
We'll do it. It's happening. It's happening.
And some other people approached us about some other projects. A filmmaker from this area asked if we wanted to be a part of a 48-hour film project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at the end of the month. So we might do that depending on what's going on. Or maybe make a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes. And then we did confirm November 6th and 7th of this year, we will be in person for Akron Comic Con.
Woohoo!
Yay! So, I'll be, we'll both be vaccinated and everything by then. And
I already am. But
you already are.
so far out. Yeah,
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you'll be more than done by then. But yeah, so that's going to be exciting. Getting back to the at least one con this year, convention would be great to be involved with. Right?
Yeah, I mean that might be our only in-person appearance.
Yeah.
We don't know what else will happen with the other shows, if they're going to come back this fall or if they're going to wait and just plan something epic for next year. October we are hosting a virtual event through the North Royalton, Ohio Public Library.
That's right.
Or it's a part of the Cuyahoga County libraries in Ohio.
Yeah, and we've done one there before in the past, a couple years ago, and we did a history of horror hosts, and that was kind of fun. And then this year, can we talk about what we're going to do?
Sure.
You go ahead.
This year, it's going to be the Mummy and the Monkey's Halloween Flick Picks.
Ooh.
So we're going to see what awesome Halloween movies they have available for people who borrow movies from the library. Mm-hmm. And then we can talk about these movies and discuss it for, maybe 5-10 minutes each movie. Yeah. And have our top 10, top 5 or whatever.
Right.
And then we're going to let the library people know ahead of time.
Right.
So then they can make sure they're stocked with these movies if people want to borrow them.
Right. Yeah, good idea. I was worried about, or that crossed my mind too, is to be able to make sure that whatever we talk about, people can actually go borrow from the library. So that's cool that they thought about that, and so we're on the same page there.
It ties in the library, the movies that are available, and then what we do, host movies, and we like to talk about movies.
Yeah.
So it's like the best of both worlds there. Now, 2 years ago, we hosted a lecture there talking about the history of horror film hosts in Ohio and Cleveland area.
Yeah.
So we've done enough of the history lesson. Now we wanted to switch it up and, let's talk about movies.
Yeah, and if it's going to be online, I mean, anybody online, anyone can then probably, watch it, right? They can just go to that library's website, either join it and they can watch it. The archive. It's probably going to be archived down there.
I believe so. It's a free event.
Yeah.
So that'll be through Zoom.
Yeah.
As far as I know, if something changes later, then we might do it in person. But it sounds like they're doing everything virtual for a little while longer.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm really yawny and stretchy. I don't know why.
It's really rainy today. We've both have been really yawning and I don't know.
Warm. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You need some ice water.
Probably. But yeah, so and then tonight, in hours from now, just probably about 3 hours from now, a little over 3 hours, they're going to announce the Rondo Award winners for 2020. And the Rondo Award is a horror industry award.
It's the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Film Awards.
Right.
And it's all the fans vote in for what they decide. So it's movies, it's short films, it's books, magazines, horror hosts, podcasts, websites, magazines, magazine articles, conventions.
Right.
And now they added a category of virtual event.
Yes. Whatever that means.
We voted for Joey Vento's Haunted Barn Museum.
The Haunted Barn, yeah.
Although it's tough because we like Joey Vento, and then Marlena Midnight was also on that category for the Dark Horse Comics event. So
maybe this thing we'll be involved with will be nominated for next year.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And we were on the ballot for favorite horror host. It's a tough category because there's so many awesome horror film hosts.
Yeah.
And Svengoolie has such a huge following, so I almost feel like we should congratulate him. Hey. Now. No, I'm kidding though. We're kidding, guys. And we like Sven. It's all good. But yeah, it's a tough category to be in. We love being nominated. We love that fans vote for us, and we're grateful for that. Just to be on the ballot is awesome. And that it's all fans voting in. It's like fans have their say.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose.
He's back there blowing his nose.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, here I come. You can hear the sound difference.
He's walking back, and then
So we just do this show willy-nilly.
Louie, our little fluffy man, is sitting with us. Louie the cat.
Yes, he is.
One of the crypt kitties. He does not care if we're doing a podcast, if we're doing a live show. He has to be sitting with us.
Do we talk about the other thing?
Oh, the fannies?
No, yeah, sure.
Oh,
well, before that, do you want to talk about the other thing?
Oh, okay.
What inspired it?
So another thing that we're involved in.
Yes.
It's a local television show called The Big Bad B-Movie Show.
Right.
And it's hosted by Leopold and Lenora. And it's on Channel 19. Well, not 19, but WUAB, Channel 43. 19 and 43 are,
It's a wacky.
Owned by the same company.
Media
company.
Yeah, so we were approached or called or got contacted a little over a year ago about being involved with a new horror-hosted type of show in Cleveland that was going to be on Channel 43.
Almost a year ago.
Yeah,
So we weren't sure what they had in mind. We discussed this a few podcasts ago. Yeah, we weren't sure what they had in mind. We were hoping we would be the hosts, but we're more like content creators where we send them skits as freelancers.
Yeah, because it turns out, I think initially there was some interest in us hosting this program. It was something that we would come up with and do. But there was someone who actually interviewed us a couple years before this came about.
Yeah, he
came to the shop that we used to own in Lakewood, your old shop.
Yeah,
the Thrift Crypt, and interviewed us about, and we got dressed up as Grimm and Decay and did a whole thing about, he interviewed us about horror hosting.
Yeah, CLE Weekend is a Channel 19 affiliate, so they did interview us about 3 years ago, prior to all of this. Yeah. And I remember at that time, it was maybe a few months after, I did email the producer asking if the channel had any interest in bringing back a movie hosted show. And at the time, he said the managers weren't interested.
Right.
Almost 2 years ago, we sold a vintage Channel 19 coffee mug to one of the managers of Channel 19. And we also gave him our information and like a magazine that we were on the cover, Pressure Life magazine, a DVD, that sort of thing, just to give him, so he could see what we're about, to see what we do.
Yeah, and there in that Pressure Life magazine, there was the write-up they did about us being like, horror hosts in Cleveland, from Cleveland, that broadcast to the world on the internet, doing that next level type of thing, using that as your way to get to people, as opposed to being in a, broadcast on a local television station, and so forth. But we were very excited but didn't get too, didn't try not to get too excited about, about hosting the show ourselves, because we didn't know what was going on.
We were excited about it, but also very nervous because we weren't sure what they had in mind until we were talking with them a little bit later, in depth. And
it was Zachariah Durr. He was the guy that interviewed us, and he works at the station, and they put it out there. I guess they did an internal thing first, asked anybody if they wanted to host a show, if they did a horror hosted show, and he jumped up and said he'd do it. Got a female co-host whose name is Laura, and they put together the Big Bad Bee movie show. And when then we were, we had something scheduled to talk, and we were a lot of back and forth between us and talking to friends whether or not we should do this or if it would be the right thing to do. I wanted to do it because I thought it would be exposure. We'd be on TV finally in some way, shape, or form. And then when we talked to everybody at the station, we had like a Zoom meeting with them. It got spelled out to us that it was going to be a vehicle for Zachariah and Laura, and not us. I thought, but it did sound like that we'd be more involved, like we were going to be like the angry neighbors, or or the annoying neighbors type of thing.
Well, at first, we were. So someone at the station said, "Oh, it'd be like MST3K,
an ensemble cast."
And so I'm thinking MST3K. They always have the same group of characters. Yeah. They interact with each other.
Yeah.
All the characters seem to have a very strong presence. Mm-hmm. Of course, you have the main guys, but then like Pearl and the other characters, Bobo, like they're always there.
Yeah.
So we thought, oh, okay, so what, so we thought it would be more in depth like that, but then.
It got whittled down to us like supplying each episode with the Mummy and the Monkey based skit and promoting ourselves.
We did make an appearance on episode 4 for their Halloween show, and that was fun.
We were actually in studio, and I think COVID had a lot to do with how their show was going to be formatted, because they couldn't have a lot. I mean, they only have some of the people that do the camera work in there.
Yeah, they only allow, themselves. Obviously because of COVID, you have to be careful. They only allow so many people in the studio. They do temperature checks when you walk in.
Right, all of that stuff. So anyway, and we there was a lot of discussion between Janet and I, and then with other friends and stuff, whether or not this is even whether we should do it or not, for all different reasons, and especially if it had something to do with owning content or character creations that we have, and that, when we hashed it out with them, and they weren't interested in doing any of that, owning anything. They were cool with they own the completed show, but they don't own any characters that we came up with, or
like our characters, and then like the raw video files, and
So anyway, so it was on since like last October. It debuted, I believe, right?
Yeah, it debuted in October.
Yeah, and there are, and so it was just posted a couple days ago. Big Bad Movie is nominated for a regional Emmy for best TV show, or whatever the category is.
So yeah, I
Local.
mean, we thought that's interesting because, you know, it's a local show that we're sort of involved in.
Yeah.
We have a small presence in.
So, you know, it's like, you know, it's a little bittersweet. I mean, to be honest, we were kind of excited and thought maybe this was going to be our TV break. You know, we would get, you know, offered a television show and continue to do with Big Chuck and Little John, The Ghoul, and Superhost. You know, kind of continue their legacy here in Cleveland by being, because it makes it more official if you're on television and being a television horror host. You're in that, because we're still, I mean, I guess maybe in a little ways we could be in that category from the content that we provide.
Well,
but it's not our name. It's not our brand.
It's theirs, you know.
Yeah.
So that's their baby. That's their project, and we're supplying content. And yeah, I mean, obviously, we would want to have our own television show if it was the right deal that worked for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like I said,
So
I'd be careful what you wish for with this stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, you have to be careful if with owning your characters, your content, you want to make sure your ideas and your work is protected.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's kind of weird. We have mixed feelings about it. We like everyone there. I mean, we get along with everyone. Yeah. It was just like like, okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, I mean, to be honest, it's like we just feel like that should have, not that it should have been us, but it's like, why, you know, what's it, you know, did we not have, I don't know. It was just what it came down to is obviously it was someone was willing to do the show internally,
and someone was already on the payroll.
Yeah, and so it was just more convenient to do it that way. Yeah, I don't even know how we would have to have. I don't even know how we would do it. You'd be so concerned about COVID. I don't even know how we would do it. We'd have to do it all ourselves. We could
probably just record it all ourselves and send it in.
Yeah, somehow we would have figured something out if we were given the opportunity, but. You know, so we talk about that still. We wonder if there is any opportunity at that station for us to have a show as well,
or maybe
like a spin-off,
or maybe another local show, or another station, maybe even a cable network somewhere.
Who knows?
We still like the idea of owning our content and putting things online and being independent, but you know. Of course we would like a television break. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be
cool.
So,
of course, sometimes there's moments where we have stars in our eyes and we're like, oh, that'd be so cool to have a show.
It would. I mean, especially since we've been doing it for so long. You know, we've been working at this gig.
Since 2014.
Yeah, and 3 more years, it'll be 10 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, later this year it'll be 7 years, but we've been live streaming for 3 years.
Yeah. But we've been involved, you know, I've been, you know.
But when I look at some local television's social media and some, when I do check our numbers, I do compare, you want to try to and I know in the past I said you don't want to compare yourself to others, but sometimes I like to check numbers to see where we're at, to see like how we're doing.
Yeah. And
in the 7 years, you know, between all our social media and YouTube and everything, we have about 15,000 followers.
Wow.
And that's without a station or a press or a media outlet really backing us up to the full extent. That's us trying to promote us on our own, going out to the conventions, sharing things in Facebook groups, sending messages to our friends asking if they could share stuff.
Right.
That's all us.
Yeah.
So
everything
everything that we have done has been us, and we also work our other jobs too to pay the bills. Right. It's not like, yeah, we work from home, but it's not just Mummy and Monkey. We're also doing the reselling. Yeah. We're also doing the freelance. So, yeah, it's just I would love to see all of our work pay off one day.
Yeah, I mean,
my ultimate goal is to see all this stuff that we've been doing, all this time we're putting into things actually pay off and have some recognition for it. And I know, yeah, I mean, that's what I want, really. And some people might think I'm too demanding or think, wah, boo-hoo, you're being a crybaby. Mm-hmm. But it's true. That's what I want for all the hard work we're doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, ultimately the goal here is to, is to have our characters be like a brand that could, advertise things or be and our show itself generate enough interest. And like if you can accomplish it on the internet, you can get paid by with Google and or YouTube. Especially I think Facebook is starting to do that, right?
If you get 10,000 Facebook followers or more, you can set up for monetization like YouTube. So there's some comedians on there that have thousands of followers that, they can monetize their comedy videos.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Brent Terhune and comedians like that.
Yeah. Well, but we're working towards that. I mean, and I'd like that to be our goal this year is to push a little harder and see where we can take this.
Yeah. I did have a New Year's resolution, and it's not every day, but we are uploading more to YouTube. I did have the goal to try to upload something every single day, but it got to be too much to do every day.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but
so now, like several times throughout the week, we're putting out content.
Yeah. So I mean, congratulations to the Big Bad Bee Movie on their regional Emmy Award nomination.
Yeah.
And we'll see where that goes. I mean, who knows? But and I wrote Zachariah today asking about the schedule, and I said, hey, congratulations on our show. So I haven't heard back from him. Hopefully, and I did put a haha at the end of it just as I'm joking. Our show. But yeah, so. It's...
So if they win the Emmy, we'll get the gold dust.
We get to smell it.
We'll get the Emmy residue.
Yeah.
We'll get a whiff of that.
Yeah. He'll rub it on our belly or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
Whatever. I don't know.
On us peasants.
Yeah, but and maybe one day that'll all be something that we're up for. Who knows? But like I said in the last podcast about winning things and stuff like that, we're Emmys and Rondos. Anyone could win those, but we really want to win our viewers and listeners' hearts. So
yeah, I mean, I
that's our big reward.
Said that in a post. Really, what's priceless is the fans, the
corny,
following.
As corny as it is,
it does sound corny, but it's true. Like
it's very true.
We literally could not do what we do without the viewers, without the fans, without that type of following and support and people liking it. So we want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just need to just keep trying. I think so.
And we will.
Just keep trying.
Keep on humping along. Right?
Busting our humps.
Busting humps. Busting humps. All right. So that's and we'll talk about more of that, I guess, whenever we find out more.
And going back to the fannies, we want to do a fan-based, like a top fan type of award little thing maybe once a year called the fannies.
Yeah, so that popped into my head the other day. I'm trying to think of what we could do, because if we do our own award show for a horror host or something like that, then we can never win it because it's too much of a conflict for interest. Not that we want to win it, but it would be it just didn't seem right. So I'm trying to think what could we do? I mean, what hasn't been done before? Now there may have been fan awards. I'm sure there might have. There's certain things around that have been around, but I'm thinking specifically for horror hosting, and I think it doesn't have to just be the Mummy. It started out as who would be the Mummy the Monkey's top fan? Who could we vote for? And You and I would pick that out. But then I'm thinking, well, let's just do it but it's specifically the horror host genre category, no movies and things like that. And because there are people out there with crazy, rooms full of like certain horror host stuff. Like this one guy, Don Hoot, has like the Ghouls set he bought, and he dresses up like the Ghoul. He just probably wins by default the Ghoul, the biggest Ghoul fan award. And then we had the idea that if you win that year, then you become an honorary judge and aren't able, because who's going to vote for him again? I mean, why do that?
We don't want the same fan to win like every year.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be right.
So but make it interesting.
We want to give other fans an opportunity to win a fan.
Right, and we would be the judges, and we would pick out a few other people to help judge. And like I said, whoever wins that year becomes an honorary judge. And if you're called upon, like jury duty, we might only need 5 at any given time. So we give out 10 awards. We need 5 every year, even though 10 people could be judged. Make up our own kind of fun rules like that.
But I'm thinking that'll be your project.
Yeah.
Even though we work on this together, I do a lot with putting things on YouTube. So maybe this will be your little
baby.
Your little baby that you do.
So yeah, and I came up with the name Fannies. I thought that could be funny, tongue in cheek. No pun intended, tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
That's a little gross, but depends what you're into.
The Fanny. It's just a funny play on words, and we can make like a goofy little award, and it's like a golden butt or something.
Sure, I'll rig up something for that. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'd like to try to get that. Start talking about. We talked about it on our.
We're so classy on the Harry Scary Hangout. We have a lot of fart and burps and like toilet humor. Yeah, so it seems appropriate to have a Fanny award.
Yeah, the Fannies could be fun, and I'll dress it up. I'll come up with some like really cool physical award to give out. But yeah, so I think that could be a lot of fun, to do our own award show, and it's to give back to the fans, the big super fans of horror hosts out there. So if you're listening to this and you're a fan of whoever, Svengoolie, Superhost, Big Chuck and Little John, Elvira, Vampira, do your best. I mean, dress up like them. Show us your collection of stuff that you have, things like that, because that's what you'll be judged on. But yeah, so you start getting that stuff ready. We probably won't do it until towards October, I think.
Oh, I thought maybe summertime.
Or summertime, whenever. Why
because
summer?
October's a busy time.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe it's something to do fun like in the summertime.
All right, we'll see.
When things might be a little bit slower.
All right. Whenever, but it'll be soon. It won't be next year.
Just a suggestion. Yeah. I thought maybe do that this July or something.
Okay.
Then that gives you a few months to plan it.
Yeah. All right. That sounds like fun. So the Fannies are on their way. That could be a lot of fun. So, yeah.
So we've got the events. We have things in the works. We do need to film more skits.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's why I need that schedule from Zachariah.
So yeah, we need skits not just for them, but we need skits for our own show as well.
But I need to see what the movies are going to be, because maybe we can do some of them based on those movies. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. But it'd be great to film a few at a time.
It would be.
So I have been working in the studio and tidying up and rearranging things, and you helped me last week, and it turned out great. Yeah. For our Harry Scary Hangout set. Yeah. So we even have a new green screen that we need to try out.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's it for me on the horror host stuff. You got anything else you want to add?
I think that's it for now.
I need pizza.
I'm getting really hungry.
Yeah, I need to make some food. But yeah.
So this is May 2nd?
3rd.
May 3rd already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the month's almost over.
But
no.
So our first podcast for May. Yeah. And we want to thank you guys again for listening. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see on our YouTube channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button. That way when we put out content, you'll be notified when we go live or upload something new.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
And as Janet Decay would say, good night, good fright. Mwah.
Oh, isn't that sweet? And as Grimm Gorri would say, see you later, alligators.